Everyone trains in the time chamber to prepare for Cell, but he ended up becoming perfect. Now with an opponent this powerful, how would they contend against him? We'll be seeing all that and more in the 7th part of What If Goku Was Like Broly. Goku and Gohan exit the time chamber, with both of them being in Super Saiyan, at least what appears to be Super Saiyan. It's that green-haired form Goku's using. They both learned to master Super Saiyan at its full strength. The others can't believe what they're seeing either. They're using it so effortlessly. They can't even do this with regular Super Saiyan yet. Goku and Gohan get confirmation that Cell became perfect, although they already assumed that. Not that it matters too much. They're ready for this fight, and they're confident that they could win. Gohan of course has learned to control his form, but as for Goku, he thinks he himself is going to be enough. Also, he did see a bit of Gohan's anger in the time chamber, and he doesn't really want Gohan to go berserk. So just in case, it's better if Goku starts out the fight on his own. The two are pretty similar. They both get power boosts from rage. The difference is, Gohan has a much shorter fuse, and his power seems to be more explosive. Despite Goku's strength also coming from rage, he's controlled that completely. As for Gohan, he's controlled the form, but not necessarily his rage. Goku can summon his full power with no issues and not go berserk. As for Gohan, he's fine as is, but if something sets him off, who knows what's going to happen. Cell is waiting for the two of them, and when the time comes, they go to the arena to fight Cell. The first fight is between Goku and Cell, and right off the bat, it becomes pretty explosive. Goku's controlling his power so well, it doesn't even seem like he's in that green-haired form. Usually when he's using that, his power runs wild, but now Goku's made it a lot more efficient, and his control over it is a lot more nuanced. Cell's pretty surprised at his growth too. Well, it's only natural that Goku can get this strong, but this does impress him too, and it's giving him a pretty fun battle as well. Cell's primary advantage is the fact that he could regenerate. The issue with him is, he doesn't have the same control over this power that Goku does. Goku's grown with it, he's evolved it. Cell has huge reserves of power but doesn't know how to fully utilize them, and he probably is prone to the same rage issues that Goku had earlier. Goku recognizes Cell as a huge threat, especially with the things I just mentioned, but for once in a while he actually has an opponent that can challenge him. So he's gonna enjoy it for a bit, but he makes it a point to finish this as well. He can't let Cell get angry, otherwise he might be too volatile, and his power would be uncontrollable. Goku starts taking the fight even more seriously, causing Cell to draw out all of his strength, and Goku could feel it in his ki. Cell's drawn out all his power and he's at its limit. If he pushes Cell even further, he might go completely berserk. They need to avoid that. So instead of fighting even further, which might antagonize him, Goku decides to finish him, charging a Kamehameha, with Cell deciding to do the same. It looks like Goku's giving up at the sight of his full power. He'd love to see how Goku handles this blast. They each launch a Kamehameha at each other, and the two beams clash with immense power. It feels like everything around them is shaking. The arena that they were once standing on is now completely vaporized, and everyone watching nearby is blown back, besides Gohan who's already powered up. And as Gohan's watching, he could see that the two of them are pretty much even right now. This worries him, but he's prepared for it. If Goku and Cell are equal right now, then all Goku needs is someone else to help him out. He lets the beam clash go on a bit longer, and then he gets a signal from Goku. Now's the time to act. They planned for this in the time chamber. Goku did want to fight Cell alone, but if things got too hectic, he said that he wanted Gohan to join him. Again, it's too risky to let him run loose like this. Goku is a lot more cautious about things like that here, especially with a villain that has his own power. He knows from previous experiences that this could be a bad thing. So as much as he would love a 1v1 and just to test Cell's power, he reluctantly decides to do this. Gohan jumps in with Goku, launching his own Kamehameha. Their beams combine and completely overwhelm Cell's. He puts more power into his, even going berserk for a brief moment. Just as Goku predicted, but it's not enough. Thanks to Gohan joining in, Cell is completely overwhelmed. And before his uncontrolled rage is completely unleashed, he's swallowed up whole by the two Kamehamehas, with every little bit of him destroyed. Trunks can't believe it. They did it, and Gohan even controlled his power. It's amazing because with future Gohan he was never able to do that, but this Gohan has perfectly controlled it, so has Goku. It makes him happy. Sure, things might have gone bad in the future, but Trunks rectified it here. Plus, he's gotten stronger. He could probably take on the androids in his timeline. And if not, well, they did prepare. They did get the idea of raiding and destroying Jiro's lab, which not only prevents Cell from coming in this timeline, but also gives Trunks the self-destruct remote. And future Bulma could probably tweak it so it works on those androids if it doesn't already. Raditz watches on happily too. His training paid off. He knew he probably wouldn't fight here against Cell, but still, he's bettering himself. And it's weird. He hasn't really felt this before, but he feels kind of proud of Goku and Gohan. After all, he did train Gohan a bit. It's a strange feeling for him. He's never experienced anything like it. He's proud of his younger brother, not just proud of himself. He's above Nappa now, and next he's going to overtake Vegeta. Vegeta does still feel left behind. Nappa's kind of accepted all this by now, but as for Vegeta, he's getting really competitive. He knows Goku and Gohan are gifted, but still, he got surpassed by a kid. And Kakarot is so unreachable now. Plus, Raditz and Kami are closing in on his level too. And he couldn't do anything against Cell. It makes him feel weak. He really doesn't know how to feel about this. What happens now? Well, Kami has the Dragon Balls prepared, and they could revive everyone killed by Cell. This does include the androids too. It's a shame. Kami could see that those androids weren't really as bad as they were in Trunks' timeline. Despite barely knowing Android 17, Kami observed him and he saw that he wasn't some pure evil monster. He and 18 were victims to Jiro. He recognizes that he might be too empathetic here, but as Earth's guardian, it is his responsibility to watch over everyone too. And at the end of the day, these two are his subjects and he ended up being right about them thankfully. And of course the Dragon Balls are stronger too thanks to Kami being stronger. This is a completely new set now. Trunks returns to his timeline, thanking everyone for their help. And he's able to defeat the androids there as well as prepare for Cell. Even though the imperfect Cell that he's going to counter will be much stronger, it's not something Trunks can't handle. It'll be a tougher battle, but he's prepared for it going forward. And he doesn't stop training. Now we enter the 7-year time skip. Goten is born. And everyone around Goku realized that he probably will be a freak in terms of power as well. So they need to get on fixing that right away. Kami's actually the one who ends up training Trunks and Goten. Mainly he wants to make sure Goten doesn't lose control, but it's also good for the two of them to have someone to train under. Goku and Vegeta of course work with them too. Vegeta continuously pushes himself, same for the other two. Raditz is slowly pulling ahead. Nappa doesn't stop, but he's number 3 and he's kind of accepted that by now. Raditz on the other hand knows he can be the strongest with hard work alone. Well, maybe not above Kakarot or Gohan, but still, he could be the strongest of these 3. At some point they do discover Super Saiyan 2, with Goku and Gohan also getting it for themselves as well. And it becomes their own version of Super Saiyan 2. It's much more potent and, of course, green. It's not the same one that the others have. It's essentially an ascended state of their full power form. At the end of the time skip, we arrive at the tournament before the Bu Saga. And pretty much right off the bat, Kami can tell something is amiss. He can instantly pick out the Kais in the crowd and realizes that something's going on. He's also pretty terrified about this too because why are those two here? Goku's never seen Kami this fearful. But this tips everyone off about the Kais, although Kami tells them to not intervene. If the Kais do anything, don't question it, just go along with it. And then Kami watches as energy is drained from Gohan, with the Kais helping to make sure that it gets drained. Now he kinda regrets what he said before because what the hell are they planning here? This part goes somewhat like normal. Gohan still did meet Videl, she entered the tournament, she fought Spobovich, and now Gohan fought Kibito. Spobovich and Yamu get a ton of power from him, and as the two fly off, Goku almost goes to stop them, but Shin then urges him to hold back, just wait for a bit. The Kais fill everyone in on what's going on, and they have a pretty big group going over to Babidi's ship. It's Goku, Gohan, Kami, Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa. They don't really need any more than this. When they arrive at the ship, Dabura tries to attack right away, almost killing Kibito, but Gohan jumps in the way, taking his attack with no issue. He starts fighting Dabura and pretty quickly pulls ahead, beating him with not much effort, as the rest go towards the ship. They need to work really fast because Shin didn't know that Gohan had that much power. With the amount Spobovich and Yamu stole, who knows, it might be enough to revive Buu. It turns out, that's actually the case. Babidi is elated when he gets this energy. This is the exact amount he needs, and while everyone makes it through the ship, he feeds the energy to Buu's egg. And just as they make it to Babidi's location, it's already too late. He teleports everyone outside of the ship, and Buu is unleashed. Shin and Kibito are stricken with complete fear. They didn't think it would go like this. They didn't plan for Gohan having that much power to steal. Well, it's kind of their fault for a stupid plan, but thankfully, Goku's not too concerned. And Kami notices this. He can tell Buu's a monster. Just from his ki alone, this guy is going to be a huge threat. But then he remembers who he's talking to. It's Goku. Raditz butts in, and he's surprisingly cool-headed. Yeah, that Majin Buu guy seems terrifying. Raditz would love to fight him, but he knows he's going to lose instantly. But he thinks Goku and Gohan have got this. Even one of them will be enough to fight Buu. Shin and Kibito urge everyone to take this seriously, but then Vegeta butts in. No, Raditz is actually right. If it were just these 3 Saiyans, it would be a really tough battle. But with Kakarot, they've got a pretty clear victor there. Nappa says there is one way they could help though. Babidi is too preoccupied with Buu that he doesn't even notice. Nappa looks over at him, flicks a hand up, blowing up the ground below Babidi, injuring Buu a bit and completely decimating Babidi in the process. Goku barely jumped out of the way in time. Not that it would have hurt much, but he tells Nappa to be a little bit more careful. He chuckles and apologizes. He got a bit too far ahead of himself. But at least he got to take out that cockroach freak. Goku's fight with Buu begins. And it's pretty clear right away that Goku's stronger. And after taking damage from Nappa's attack, Buu regenerates and Goku can tell that he can regenerate just like Cell. That's not a problem for him. He just needs to erase every little bit of Buu. He spends some time fighting, holding back, and enjoying it, because once more, it's a rare opportunity where he has a strong opponent that can match him. Over the 7 years, he's kind of solved this issue by sparring with Gohan a bit, but Gohan isn't always available for that, and Gohan's not having death matches with him. Sure, some of the matches get serious, but they're never like this. Although Goku's a bit disappointed. After hearing Shin hype up Buu that much, he thought he'd be a little bit more. He's pretty clearly a powerful opponent, but not one that Goku can't beat. Shin urges Goku to destroy him immediately. He's an agent of pure evil. He goes up to Super Saiyan 2 full power, and with a single blast he finishes it off. He says he wished he got to fight Buu more. Hopefully, Buu comes back as a good fighter. And, just like that, the Bu Saga happened and ended. By this point, Goku and Gohan are so strong that Bu isn't even a problem. Had he absorbed one of them, yeah, that would have been an issue, but there's no way he could have. Once more, Goku cements his spot as the strongest. A few months go by, and a new visitor arrives on Earth. It's Beerus. He set his alarm a bit earlier because Oracle Fish told him to set it around this time instead. He also did have a dream about some rival he'd fight, so he's looking forward to that. This ended up leading him to Earth, where he meets Goku for the first time. From what Whis told him, he apparently defeated Frieza, and he's some sort of mutated Saiyan, far stronger than a normal one. Not to mention, he's a Super Saiyan. So Beerus asks him to showcase that power. First he goes into Super Saiyan full power, and then eventually Super Saiyan 2 full power. Beerus is pretty impressed. For a mortal, yeah, this is pretty strong. Still, it's nowhere near close to him. For comparison, this Goku in Super Saiyan full power is far above Super Saiyan 3 Battle of Gods Goku, despite this being earlier in the story, and despite this being the full power version of regular Super Saiyan, not Super Saiyan 3. Although, he's not on the level of Super Saiyan God Goku here. When Beerus asks about this form, they know nothing about it. But Kami has a good idea. He asks Shenron. Shenron explains the ritual, and they actually do have more than enough Saiyans. Although, Goku doesn't really like the prospect of being handed power like this, especially because Beerus was already impressed with his regular power. He'd rather work for something higher than what he currently has. Beerus is getting pretty antsy and he really wants to see a Super Saiyan God. So reluctantly, Goku's about to accept this, but someone else steps in. The other 3 Saiyans feel the exact same about this, but this is a chance to level the playing field. So one of them volunteers. It's Raditz. His brother is gifted, but he could be strong too. He also agrees with Goku. He would rather train for his power. Hard work has gotten him so far already. But how often do they get to become gods? And besides, Raditz will take a metaphorical bullet for him here and do the ritual in his stead. And Goku thanks him for that. He agrees with this, but only under one condition. Raditz will fight him after he fights Beerus. And Raditz is perfectly fine with that. Nappa, Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and Goten get into the ritual, with Raditz at the center of it. Surprisingly, the first Super Saiyan God this time, it's Raditz. Everyone else looks on in awe, although they can't even really sense that power. But still, they could tell he's become something completely different by now. And Goku's really excited to see what his brother's capable of now. And with that, we'll end off here. What'd you guys think about this part, and what's going to happen next time? Leave any thoughts or ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.